Connor, does scoring 8 change at all your feeling on the team and how it's played in this series and where you're at in this series? Does that matter to 8?
No, I don't think so. It's just one win. That's all it is. Doesn't matter if you score 8 or you score 1. It's just one win, and we got to go to Florida and do a job and drag them back to Alberta.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene. You guys are watching Primed and Lubed for June the 20th, 2024. Drag them back to Alberta. Can you believe what we are witnessing here, guys? Like, I don't think a lot of you guys get the the gist of what's actually happening here. McDavid is unfreaking believable. Like, we always knew he was unbelievable. We always knew this guy. But holy shit, guys. What we are witnessing is something like, take it in, man. Take it in and enjoy it. I witnessed the Gretzky era. I witnessed the Messier era. I witnessed the glory days of the Oilers. I also witnessed the decade of darkness. I witnessed it all. Don't take this for granted. This is something that you're probably not going to see again in your lifetime with what Connor McDavid is pulling off. It is absolutely nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Okay, guys, as you can see, I kind of reverted back to my old format here. I'm just toying around with ideas for next season, and I think this is going to be kind of a concept I will have going into next season, as I will use the episodes that I used before for my previews and my reviews. I'm just trying to work things out, but my mind is going constantly how to improve the channel, how to make it better. Oh, by the way, welcome to my new subscribers. It appears that, changing the name from Lubed to Primed and Lubed is paying off big dividends because I've had a nice jump in subscriber counts. So welcome aboard. I'm just a diehard Edmonton Oilers fan. I'm not trying to be the next Steve Dangle, the Edmonton Oilers version. If that happens, great. But I really love the Edmonton Oilers. I always have. So I hope you enjoy the content that I bring, and I hope you can also tell your buddies, and let's grow this channel, grow it, make it flourish like a nice little plant. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Oilers. We're here to talk about what happened in Game 5. And then I got a little segment on who should be the Conn Smythe winner. I already have my made up on this one. Connor or Sergey. Regardless of the outcome. Poll question will be related to that as well. And then I got the line combos. I haven't been able to find an update on the Edmonton Oilers, so this is going to kind of go back to June 15th. There has been an update on the Florida Panthers, though, so it's going to be kind of a wishy-washy line combos of what I've witnessed today. So everything's going to change by tomorrow night. Like, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I'll tell you one thing I can guarantee is Rogers Place in Edmonton is going to require roof maintenance, as the Oil faithful are going to blow the roof off that effing place. I'm not even kidding, man. That is going to be a nuts arena. And then if you guys want to chime in, feel free to chime in. I will try to answer your questions, or I will deliver your thoughts live online. So let's dive into the game that was the game that the Florida Panthers were supposed to win the Stanley Cup, the game that Bill Zito, I think that's his name, smashed his water bottle because he got into a temper tantrum because his team never won. Game number 5 of the Stanley Cup final, which was an unbelievable game. And we're going to get into that right now. All right. So this game had a lot of storylines. A lot of storylines. Some unbelievable McMagic. Probably one of the best plays, if I could say it. One of the best plays ever by him when he fed Corey Perry pass. But we'll get into that right now. Okay. So let's start off with the scoring summary. It started off in the first period on a shorthanded goal from the one person that is so unexpected. Connor Brown getting his second, and this was unassisted, barely getting by Bobrovsky. I think it actually hit his skate a little bit, but it was just enough to nudge its way in. Connor Brown, I'm telling you right now, guys, after that goal, he lived up to his contract. His contract obligation to me is fulfilled. I was bitching, whining, and complaining about him all year long. But wow, to start off the game like that was amazing. And to me, he did his job. I think we got value out of that contract just for that one goal, because that one goal was huge. You got to think, this is do or die. If that goal didn't go in and Florida comes back and scores, momentum might have shifted. Stanley Cup might have been awarded in Florida. So just for that one goal, I think that lives up to his contract value. And that was at 5:30. So it's 1-0 Edmonton at this point in time. In the second period at 1:58, Zach Hyman on the power play from Evan Bouchard and Connor McDavid. We have a 2-0 game. And I'm feeling good. But I'm still very anxious. By the way, guys, I was a freaking neurotic mess, man. Like, I should do a live feed just to show you how. Actually, I wouldn't want to do that because it would. I was a mess watching this game. Okay, we get more into the second period when Connor McDavid gets his 7th goal. You'd think Connor McDavid only 7 goals, yeah, but he's also got 30-some assists or something like that. So his point chart is ridiculous. He is currently the leader of all-time assists in a playoff series right now, and he is chasing Wayne Gretzky for all-time points, and he may do it. I think he's like 6 points out of that. But anyway, he gets his 7th goal, assisted by Warren Foegele and Evan Bouchard. We have a 3-0 game. I'm feeling good, but I'm still not 100% convinced the Oilers are going to pull this off. Then, cue the comeback. Matthew Tkachuk finally registers a goal in the final. He's been kind of like a little bit sluggish and a little bit slow. This would be assisted by Evan Rodriguez. We have a 3-1 game. The Oilers would restore the 3-goal lead when Corey Perry, easy tap-in goal from Connor McDavid, who just sliced through, like, one of the best goals, I think. Like, it's tough to say. Like, you look at the New York Ranger goal, you look at the goal when he came back from the collarbone injury against Columbus. Jeez, man, this guy, the stuff that he pulls off is always spectacular. And to do this in the Stanley Cup final, I don't know what to say, man. I really don't know what to say, but unbelievable. I would honestly, that button even doesn't do it justice. It would be more like a, oh wow, like, honest to God, man, this was nuts watching how he was able to slither through the demon and just feed a nice little pass over right on the stick to Corey Perry. Boom, it's in. 4-1 is the score at this point at 11:54. Evan Bouchard also gets one of the assists on it. Wow. But I still knew this is the Florida Panthers, who took the first 3 games of the series, I knew that they didn't have quit, and I was right about this. When they would make it 4-2, and it'd be Evan Rodriguez from Brandon Montour and Sam Bennett. And at this point in time, getting a little nervous, and I'm like legitimately nervous because the Florida Panthers would make it 4-3. Oliver Ekman Larson would get an assist from Matthew Tkachuk, and this, like, where was all like, and my buddy that I used to do NHL Aftermath, Sammy, could attest to this. Where was Oliver Ekman Larson when he was on the Canucks? Because he's really starting to shine on the Florida Panthers. Maybe I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, he got it. And then my nerves are like going through the roof because there's still 15 minutes left in this hockey game. A lot can happen. But the one thing that the Edmonton Oilers have that they've had all season long after Knobloch took over is they could bend, but they don't break. And then what appeared to be an amazing play by Matthew Tkachuk on an empty net play quickly turned out to be a Connor McDavid empty net goal, making it a 4-point night, making his chase his cementing his legacy. Like, he's right now, he's gonna be a first ballot all-star. Cups or no cups, he's got to be a first ballot all-star when his career is all done and said. Anyway, a 4-point night. He's cruising along. He is, I think, 6 points out of having the all-time lead in NHL history. Think about that. The all-time point lead in a postseason in history. What we are witnessing is nothing short of remarkable. Again, that button doesn't even justify the talent that this guy brought. And I knew that we were going to get it when when the Oilers won that draft. Unbelievable. All right, let's break down the statistical breakdown here. Let's start off with the shots on goal. 32-24 for the Panthers. You know, a lot of the stats go towards the Panthers' way in this game. When it came to hits, 44-16 for the Panthers. They are really trying to hurt the Oilers. There's no question about it. And speaking of hurt Oilers, I'm wondering if Leon Draisaitl is hurt, because honestly, Connor McDavid is really carrying all the weight of the world of Edmonton and all of Canada on his shoulders. And you know what? I commend him for it. Win or lose, I'm so proud of these boys. I don't know what's going to happen. They have to win 2 more games still. I don't know what's going to happen. I am very comfortable now with the situation than I was a few days ago when it was a 3-0 series. But still, they still, all Florida needs is 1 win. Edmonton needs 2. So it's still a bit of a climb, and it could very well end up being the comeback of historic proportions. And I'm not even joking when I say that. The biggest comeback maybe in all of professional sports. You can definitely argue it. Okay, so face-off win percentage, the Panthers dominated that, 59.7. When it came to the power play, the Oilers were 2 for 5, 40%. Not bad. I'm not going to complain about a 40% power play. And I'm going to definitely give them props for 3 for 3 on the penalty kill. Noticing I'm doing the horn a little bit often tonight. Why not, man? Like, this is the time. Hey, the Oilers are kicking ass, man. And I love it. And, you know what? I told my guys at work, regardless of what the outcome is, I'm at peace with what these guys have performed this year. And I'm hoping that Monday night we are witnessing Connor McDavid lifting the Stanley Cup. But we still have a couple of games to go. So I don't want to jinx it. Let's see how they can do as they stated on Spitting Chicklets, the church in Edmonton. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is crazy. This is absolute nuts. Okay, let's continue on. I'm getting a little bit off topic, guys. Block shots 24-12 for the Oilers. That's one stat they won. And then Skinner had a 906 save percentage. Bobrovsky 826. So there's a bit of a flip of the script there because Skinner started off kind of soft and then kind of got better, and then Bobrovsky's dropping off. And one of the stats that they mentioned, I was watching Spitting Chicklets earlier, is games 1, 2, 3 for the Edmonton Oilers in all the playoff series have been statistically remarkably different than games 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's been a huge drop off. You can watch that on Spitting Chicklets. The numbers are just absolutely absurd with what Edmonton has been able to accomplish in games, and this is throughout the playoffs, games 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. So my stars that I'm going to give to, despite how amazing he played, there was just other guys that I thought just stepped it up just a little bit more, but Stuart Skinner was debatable for a second star, even potentially a first star. But with McDavid getting a 4.9, you know who my first star is going to be. He saved 29 of 32. He had a 906 save percentage, an amazing night. And it's not, I don't even want to look at those numbers. It's the saves that he made, the caliber of saves that honestly, I could really argue a point for second star overall. That being said, my second star was Evan Bouchard with 3 assists. Just a huge factor in the game. And of course, Connor McDavid, 2 goals, 2 assists, has to be my number 1 star overall. Let's be honest, he is carrying this team on the back, and he is so important right now. I don't know what else to say, man. I don't know what else to say. What I witnessed in that game, that especially that play where the way he was able to slice through the demon of Florida and feed the easy pass to Corey Perry was jaw dropping. So yeah, Connor, you are amazing. I tip my hat to you, bud. Okay. So that was the scoring summary. Now this raises the contentious issue of who should win the Conn Smythe Trophy. I think I've already warmed you guys up to who I think should win it. Connor freaking McDavid. Any way you slice it. If they lose tomorrow night, Connor McDavid should win the Conn Smythe. I don't give a shit what anyone says. So I'm hoping that if that unfortunate event comes to fruition where the Oilers do win it in game or lose it in game 6, that Connor McDavid is at least awarded that prize. But I don't know, man. I just, the man is on a mission. I just don't see him doing it, but we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. So let's break down some of the things. Who will win the Conn Smythe Trophy? That's the big question that I have for you guys, and it's going to be on the poll question as well. Let's break down Sergei Bobrovsky. Okay, so Sergei Bobrovsky, He is ranked number 1 in the postseason with 15 wins and a 235 goals against average, a save percentage of .906. That has got him throughout the playoffs to this point, 1 win away from winning the Stanley Cup. Let's take a look at Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid ranked number 1 this postseason with 42 points, 8 goals, 34 assists, and has become the all-time leader in the postseason, surpassing Wayne Gretzky for assists. We're not just talking Wayne, we're talking Mario, we're talking all the greats, all the legends of the game. And he may, when this is all done and said, with game 6 and 7 still ahead, he may surpass Wayne Gretzky in points. And I don't know exactly what the number was. I should have wrote it down. It's mind-blowing what we're seeing. Like, absolutely mind-blowing. So, guys, that takes me to the poll question. And I want to get your opinion on this. It is up live on my YouTube channel. You can scan the QR code. Who will win the Conn Smythe Trophy? Because right now it seems like it's a two-way battle: Sergei Bobrovsky or Connor McDavid, depending on who you want to see it. Right now, in my opinion, no matter what happens tomorrow night, say Florida wins it tomorrow night, Connor McDavid should still win the Conn Smythe Trophy, 100%, for what he's been able to pull off. And I think they were saying this is going to be the first time since, I don't even remember, 1992, I think it was, that the losing team won the Conn Smythe Trophy. We'll see what happens here. We will see what happens. But let's hope again, fingers crossed, that this game goes back to sunrise on Monday night and that we are drinking champagne in Canada, especially me here in British Columbia, to an Edmonton Oilers victory. So anyway, getting back to the poll question, feel free to scan that QR code. I want to get your input on this. If you are uncomfortable scanning that QR code, you can just type in YouTube, my channel name, and go forward from there. So from a previous result, we had who will win, or how will the Stanley Cup unfold? The Oilers in 4 or 5, 18% said that. The Panthers in 4 or 5, 9% said that. The Oilers in 6 or 7, 55% stated that the Oilers would win the Cup in 6 or 7. Obviously, it can't happen in 6 now if the Oilers win the Cup. It will happen in 7. And then the Panthers in 6 or 7, which is 18%. So the dominating one is the Oilers in 6 or 7. And I'm hoping that is true, that the Oilers win the Cup in 7 on Monday night in Sunrise, Florida. Should be a good one. You start running out of words out of this craziness that we are witnessing. So let's get into the line combinations. Now, when it comes to the line combos, there hasn't been really an update since May the 15th when it came to the Edmonton Oilers. Florida Panthers, however, did update their lines, so there is a bit of a change. So you'll see that it says at the very top for the Edmonton Oilers lines, June 15th. This is the last update I got. Warren Foegele, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman on your first line. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with Leon Draisaitl, Dylan Holloway. Janmark with Henrique and Brown, and McLeod with Ryan and Perry. As for the Panthers, the latest update I got, which is today, Verhaeghe bumps down to the first line from the second line with Barkov and Reinhart. Rodriguez bumps up to the second line from the first line. from Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk. Listerin with Lindell and Tarasenko. Lomberg, Stenlin, and Cousin comes in for Kyle Opozo. That's who it was. I almost forgot his name. So Nick Cousin will come in for Kyle Opozo as of today. Now, we all know that really you can't judge it until basically Elliot Freeman announces it on Hockey Night in Canada tomorrow, because there's always a shifting thing. But as of today, this is what we got. Defense, again, Edmonton Oilers pretty much going with Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Broberg, Kulik, and Ceci. There hasn't been any change on the Panthers either. Forsling with Ekblad, Mikola with Montour, and Ekman Larson with Kulikov. Goaltenders, no change at all. Skinner with Picard. And as far as Florida goes, Bobrovsky with Stolars. And we'll see. We'll see what happens here. If Bobrovsky has another stinker of a game, do you start Stolars for game 7? That's a big, tricky question. I can't see it, but do you see it? All right. Okay, let's go into final thoughts. We'll see if any of you guys chimed in tonight. No one chimed in tonight. So I'm just going to go on and just say, hey, guys, what we're witnessing is historic. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. I got another graphic here. What we're witnessing is absolutely historic. Regardless of the outcome of the series, with what Connor McDavid has been able to accomplish this year is, and to be so even keel about it, and to know that, hey, this is what he wants. He doesn't care about the awards. We've known this from past years when he got the Hart Trophy and he got the all the leadership awards and all that kind of stuff. We know that there's only one thing on his mind. And this guy is carrying this team to a potential Stanley Cup win for the Edmonton Oilers since 1990, and for the first Cup win since 1993 to a Canadian franchise. I was absolutely floored. I live in Vernon, but I was absolutely floored to learn that the Kelowna Rockets facility that they play in, Prospera Place in Kelowna, is having a viewing party in Kelowna. That's how important this team is. Now, that being said, Kelowna and British Columbia do host a lot of residents from Alberta, because Alberta did have a lot of oil money, so there's a lot of money that swings around here in British Columbia. That being said, though, to see the city of Kelowna actually having a viewing party tomorrow night, I'm not going to be attending it. I'd rather be at home having a few beers, but regardless, to me, it's huge. And I imagine there's other cities throughout the country. I haven't heard yet. Text me in cities that are doing viewing parties throughout Canada. I would love to find out, and I will actually talk about it on the next episode. So, guys, this is kind of the new format of what I will be doing. This is kind of going to be the weekly episode I do, and what you are going to witness going forward for the previews, and that is kind of the more simplified episode, as it does take me a lot of time to put these episodes and graphics together. And this year was a real tough year doing a lot of that stuff and trying to maintain my job, doing the overtime hours, and then having my mother to deal with. So it became a little bit strenuous. So I'm actually adding more work to myself at the same time, less work, if you know what I mean. Like, it's going to be, the graphics are going to be a little bit more different for the previews and reviews as opposed to the weekly update. The weekly update is going to have new features like ex Oilers that, you know, have come and gone throughout the years. The ones that you know of, the Gretzky's, the Messiers, the Andersons, the Fears, to the players that people might have forgotten about, like Yanni Niemana, Jason Arnott, um, you know, just that kind of stuff. Habby Boolin, So I'm gonna do kind of a weekly feature on an ex Oiler, and a lot of it is gonna be the ex Oilers of yesteryear that people don't. Everyone knows what Gretzky did. Everyone knows what Anderson did. Everyone knows what the legendary Edmonton Oilers have done. Let's start breaking down some of the Oilers that have been Edmonton Oilers and worn that jersey and what they've done throughout their career as an Edmonton Oiler. So that's kind of a thing I will add on going into next season. Because I witnessed such a jump in subscriber count since I've changed it from lubed to primed and lubed, I am going to do weekly episodes throughout the summer. I did not want to do that, but I will do that. I was going to take a break and just get back into it in the fall, but I will do the weekly episodes throughout the summer. That being said, I will probably take a 2-week hiatus after everything is all done and said. But yeah, here we go, man. Buckle up, baby. Come on, Oilers. Bring it home. Bring the Stanley Cup home to Edmonton, to Canada. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Oilers. And 1 second. Trying to get out of here.